Having studied the original Arabic scripture, Maulana Sahib has given us the real face of Islam, based on peace, tolerance, and coexistence. From the beginning, he has dedicated himself to the establishment of peace and has presented Islam in a modern India. In September 1970, he established the Islamic Center in New Delhi. Al-Risala, the voice of the mission in Urdu language, is regularly published as a monthly periodical. Maulana Sahib has traveled extensively and has been a recipient of several national and international awards. Maulana Sahib has received the numerous International Peace Award 2002 in Switzerland for its outstanding achievement in strengthening peace among nations. He has also been awarded the title of Ambassador of Peace by International Federation for World Peace of Korea. Some of the national awards that he has been awarded are Padma Bhushan, National Amity Award, Delhi Gaurav, and many more. He has authored over 200 books on Islam, prophetic wisdom, and peaceful coexistence in a multi-ethnic society. His latest work, The Ideology of Peace, elucidates the concept of peace in Islam. To spread his spirituality messages globally, Maulana Sahib established the Center for Peace and Spirituality, which aims to promote and reinforce the culture of peace through mind-based spirituality. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyil kareem. Dear sisters, I am thankful to Dr. Narayanan and her colleagues for giving me the opportunity to attend this beautiful meeting and share my views with you. You know, the topic for this morning is Islam and terrorism. It is a very strange topic. You know, Islam is a peaceful religion. Islam has nothing to do with terrorism. But now you know, Islam has bracketed with terrorism. In fact, Islam and terrorism are contradictory to each other, just as Gandhian philosophy and terrorism are contradictory to each other. You know, Islam is a religion. Islam is not a movement of terrorism. And all the religions are religion of peace and spirituality. And Islam is not an exception. The basic concern of Islam is to establish peace and spirituality. If you read the Al-Quran, that is most sacred book of Islam, you will find that all the verses of Al-Quran are related to peace and spirituality, either directly or indirectly. Now, you know, Islam was founded by Muhammad bin Abdullah bin Abdul Muttalib. Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was born in 570 AD in Mecca, in Arabia. And he was appointed as a prophet in 610 AD. He was God sent to him Al-Quran, that is book of God. So there are two main sources of Islam, Quran and Hadith. Quran means word of God and Hadith means sayings of the Prophet of Islam. So these two are the main source of Islam. The first very important principle I would like to mention that if you want to know what is Islam, you have to differentiate between Islam and Muslims. You have to judge Muslims in the light of Islamic teaching and not vice versa. Here I would like to mention some references from the Quran and Hadith. For example, a person came to the Prophet of Islam. He asked, Ya Rasulullah, allimni kalimatin aisha bihinna wala tuksir alayya fa ansa. O Prophet, give me a master advice by which I may be able to manage all the affairs of my life. You see, this person asked a master formula of life. The answer from the Prophet was, La taghzab. Very short and very comprehensive. It means, don't be angry. You know what is anger? Anger symbolizes all kind of unwanted behavior like intolerance, violence, revenge, malice, negative thought. So this master formula means you have to adopt positive behavior and you have to stay from negative behavior. You know, we are living in a society in which every time there are some negative experience, some provocations. So what to do in such a situation? So Prophet of Islam gave this advice. It is a master formula. It means that avoid confrontation, avoid anger, avoid intolerance. You have to keep peace and love and tolerance and spiritual behavior. Islam, you know, Jesus Christ has said, love your enemy. It's a beautiful formula. Love your enemy. Now, what it means? Love your enemy means love all, including your enemy. Love all, including your enemy. The same formula was given by the Quran. There is a verse in the Quran, La tastabil hasanatu wala sayya idfa billati hiya asan فَإِذَا الَّذِي بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَهُ عَدَاوَةٌ كَأَنَّهُ وَلِيٌّ حَمِيمٌ. It means, do good deed in return for enemy's bad deed, and you will find that your enemy has become your dearest friend. You see, this verse means that your enemy is your potential friend. What a beautiful idea. Your enemy is your potential friend. So turn this potential to actual. This is the best formula of positive living in society. Now, we are living in an age of media. People generally take the informations from media. And you know, of media is an industry of hot news, sensational news. So media always cover sensational news regarding Islam. This creates problem. Due to this kind of due to this kind of reporting, what happened? The the most important aspect of Islam became unknown. People don't know. People know only what Muslims are doing, but what Islam teaches, they don't know about this. I will give you some very important example. For example, let us take the issue of woman. It is a general perception that Islam degrades woman. It is wrong, completely wrong. There is a hadith, Prophet of Islam has said, An-nisa'u shaqa'iqur rajal. It means men and women are two equal halves of a single unit. Men and women are two equal halves of a single unit. This is the best expression of gender equality. And this is a hadith that is saying of Prophet of Islam. Then I would like to give a very important aspect of Islam. I have read Islam through its original sources. I can say that in Islam, men and women are intellectual partners. Intellectual partners. Prophet himself demonstrated this principle. His wife was Aisha. Aisha was an intelligent lady. She says that فَإِن كُنْتُ مُسْتَيْقِظَةً فَحَدَّثَنِي. It means that Prophet used to discuss her, used to take her advice. So Aisha was an intellectual partner of the Prophet of Islam. It's very important to know. Aisha, his wife, was an intellectual partner of the Prophet of Islam. So you will find that if you read the life of Aisha, you will find Aisha was the wisest Muslim of that period due to this intellectual exchange. I will give you one example. Aisha has given a very important formula for general policy. She was her grasp was um, very important. So she was able to understand Prophet's policy, Prophet's behavior, Prophet's thinking. She says that what was the general policy of the Prophet of Islam? She says, Ma khayyara Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam bain amrain illa ikhtara aysarahuma. It means that whenever the Prophet had to choose between the two, he always opted for easier option rather than harder option. Now, what is easier option? It means sustainable option, sustainable course of action. So Prophet of Islam always used the sustainable course of action rather than harder course of action. In other words, you can say that there are two kinds of options in every situation: peaceful option and violent option, or peaceful course of action and violent course of action. In every situation, in your family, in your society, in national life, in international life, everywhere, every time you have two options. Either you have to choose peaceful course of action or violent course of action. So Prophet always So Prophet used to adopt peaceful course of action rather than harder course of action. This is very important formula. You can apply this formula in your school life, in your family life, in your nation life, everywhere. Best formula for life was given by a Muslim lady, that was Aisha bint Abi Bakr. The Prophet of Islam has said that إن الله يعطي على الرفق ما لا يعطي على العنف. The saying of Prophet of Islam. It means that God grants to non-violence what He does not grant to violence. It means that this kind of behavior is according to the law of nature. In this world that was created by God, the most powerful course of action is peaceful course of action. So see, he says that God grants to non-violence what He does not grant to violence. It means that if you adopt peaceful course of action, non-violent course of action, then everything will come into favor you, will support you. The whole nature will support you. So this is also a very important principle. So in every situation, you have to believe that if I opted for non-violent method, then I will be successful. And if I opted for violent method, then I will be failure. This is the Islamic principle, Islamic formula. Then there is a question, how to live in a multi-religious society is a very important question in perhaps in every country, in India and in every country. So Quran gives us a very, very practical formula. You know, there are differences not only between two religions, but in every aspect of life. Difference is a part of life. In every situation, in your house, in your society, in your national life, everywhere there are differences. So what to do in such a situation? Quran says, "Lakum deenukum waliya deen." For you, your religion; for me, mine. The literal translation of this verse is, "For you, your religion; for me, mine." It means that follow one and respect all. I have formulated this principle in these words. Follow one and respect all. This is the best formula. If you try to eliminate all those differences, you will failure. You cannot eliminate differences from society because difference is part of life, part of creation. It is impossible for anyone to eliminate all those differences. In such a situation, this is the best formula. Follow one and respect all. And God and Prophet of Islam has given a very beautiful demonstration of this principle. When Prophet was in Medina, so at that time there were some Jewish tribes in Medina. So what happened? One day the Prophet saw a funeral procession passing through a street in Medina. Prophet was seated at that time. On seeing the funeral procession, he stood up in respect. In respect. So one of his companions said, "O Prophet, it was funeral of a Jew, not a Muslim." It was funeral of a Jew, not a Muslim. Prophet replied, Alaysat nafsan, Alaysat nafsan, was he not a human being? Was he not a human being? You see, Prophet discovered a commonality between himself and that Jewish person. So Islamic principles are based on this commonality. According to Islam, every human being is human being. Every man is man. So all the men and women are sisters and brothers to each other. This is the Islamic principle. Allah kullukum bani Adam Adam min turab. It means all mankind are sisters and brothers to each other. So this was demonstrated by the Prophet himself. Then there is a very important principle in the Quran. As-sulhu khair. As-sulhu khair means peace is the best. Peace is the best. You know, Sufi people have adopted this principle in these words. Sulh-e-kul. Sulh-e-kul is a Persian word, that is Sufi formula. Sulh-e-kul means peace with all. Peace with all. This is a comprehensive principle in any situation, for any situation. So peace with all is the most important principle of Islam. Why? I can say that in Islam, peace is the summum bonum, the greatest good. Peace is the summum bonum, the greatest good. In Islam, peace is the rule and war is an exception. If you read Quran, you will find that all the verses of Quran are related to peace, except some verses. There are some verses about the war, that's Qatal. But all these verses relate to defensive situation. I can say that in Islam, there is no aggressive war, not at all. Only defensive war is permitted in Islam. And all those wars like guerrilla war and proxy war and undeclared war and secret war, all these wars are haram in Islam. Haram means unlawful. Only one type of war is allowed, that is defensive war. And now I can say that even defensive war is not possible in Islam. Why? Because Islam differentiates between combatants and non-combatants. Even in a genuine war, you cannot kill a non-combatant. Even in a genuine war, in defensive war, you are not allowed to kill a non-combatant. Now you know we are living in the age of weapons of mass destruction. Now there is a great revolution in the armament. We are living in the age of weapons of mass destruction. In such a situation, you cannot differentiate between combatant and non-combatant. How you can differentiate? So I can say that now this formula is not applicable. Only formula of peace is applicable. So I can say that in Islam, in modern situation, only peace is the workable formula. War is not the feasibility of war is not in our situation. So You know, the word Islam is also has a connotation of peace. The root word of Islam is silm, 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 and silm means peace. So Islam means a religion of peace. Then there is a verse in the Quran, Wallahu yadu ila daris salam, and God calls to the home of peace. This is a Quranic verse. And God calls to the home of peace. It means that Quran wants to establish a peaceful society. This is the target of Islam. This is the goal of Islam. Wallahu yadu ila daris salam. And God calls to the home of peace. So this is the main purpose of Islam. This is the main target of Islam. Islam wants to establish a peaceful society. In a society where people live in, the, in peace and spirituality. There is a hadith, the Prophet of Islam has said, Al-Muslimu man saliman nasu min lisanihi wa yadihi. It means that a true Muslim is one. A true Muslim is one by whose hands and tongue people are safe. This is the definition of a true Muslim. This is the definition of a true Muslim. A true Muslim is one by whose hands and tongue people are safe. The Prophet of Islam has said, Wallahi la yuminu, Wallahi la yuminu, Wallahi la yuminu, Alladhi la yamanu jaruhu bawaiqahu. It means that he is not a mu'min, he is not a true mu'min, who creates problem for his neighbors. He is not a mu'min, he is not a true mu'min who creates problem for his neighbors. This is the definition of Muslim or mu'min. You are not allowed to create nuisance to your neighbors. So all these news you listen or in media or read in media that has nothing to do with Islam. These news are created by Muslims, and Muslims and Islam are not one and the same. I always condemn these practices. I always say that if you want to adopt violent method, you have to adopt on a or unknown. Don't mention Islam. It is not Islam. It is not jihad. Now, what is jihad? Jihad literally means to strive, to struggle. That is peaceful struggle. If you see any dictionary of Arabic language, you will find that jihad means simply struggle, strive. So jihad means peaceful struggle. Struggle for any noble cause. Struggle for any noble cause. Jihad has nothing to do with violence and war. During this time, people misuse the word jihad. They misuse the word jihad. Jihad means peaceful behavior. Jihad means to overpower your desires. Jihad means to overpower your anger. This is jihad. So this is the true picture of Islam. I would suggest that if you want to know what is Islam, please don't rely on media reports. Please read the Quran. Quran is the most sacred book of Islam. Quran is a very modest book. It is very easy to understand Quran and to read it. And the translation of Quran is available in every language, in English and other languages. We have published a translation of the Quran from our institution. It is very in a very simple language and it is very easy to understand the Quran. So I would like to say that if anyone wants to know what is Islam, so he must read the Quran. Please don't rely on media reports because media is an industry of hot news. Media always selects hot news or sensational news. Media has no interest in spiritual news or peaceful news. So you cannot find the true picture of Islam through media. You have to read Al-Quran. You have to read the life of the Prophet of Islam. Now, I would like to say a few words about terrorism. Terrorism. I can say I happened to meet a scholar from Harvard University of America. He was researching about terrorism. What is terrorism? I asked him what is the definition of terrorism, but he failed to give a very workable definition. I said to him that Islam has given a very, very important definition, very clear definition of terrorism. According to Islam, I have derived this definition from a well-known principle of Islam, that is, ar-rahilu lil imam. By this principle, I have derived the definition of terrorism. So according to my study, the definition of terrorism is to use of arms by any organization other than state. Use of arms by any organization other than state. This is the definition of terrorism. So according to this definition, all those people who are engaged in violence, they are terrorists. They cannot say that they are freedom fighters. No, because according to Islam, use of arms is allowed only to state. No other agency, no other organization is allowed to use arms. You know, all these people who are engaged in violence, they are not states. They are NGOs. They are organizations. They are individuals. So according to Islam, use of arms is prohibited for any organization other than state. So all these activities are terrorist activities because all these activities, no state is involved in these activities. In some cases, you can say that some states are secretly involved, which is called proxy wars. But proxy war is also unlawful in Islam. It is a well-known principle in Islam that secret war is not allowed. فَمْبِزْ إِلَيْهِمْ عَلَى السَّوَاءِ. You cannot go to war secretly. You have to declare. You have to declare that we and you are at war from this date. So when secret war is haram in Islam, so proxy war is also haram in Islam. So I can say that according to Islam, all those organizations that are involved in violence and they are not a state, they are terrorists. And terrorism is worse than any other evil. The greatest evil is terrorism. God will not give support to these people. Now, I would like to say a few words about Palestine. That is the epicenter of violence. I can say that in this case, Muslims are not on right path. You know, Palest- Israel was formed on Israel was formed in 1948 according to the Balfour Commission. And Balfour Commission divided Palestine in two parts. Roughly half of the Palestine was given to Jew and half the Palestine was given to Arabs. I think this was I think that Balfour was quite right because who were these Jews? They were Jewish in diaspora. In the Quran, there is a verse that says that any community that is in diaspora have right to return to its homeland. So these Jews who were allowed to settle in Palestine, in Israel, they were a Jew in diaspora. So they have right to go back to their homeland. So I think that Balfour Commission was right, his decision was right, his partition was right. So it was wrong with the Arabs who refused to accept the verdict of Balfour and waged a war. I published this. I published a book on this subject. You can see it, and it is available in my office. So in all these situations, although Islam, they they refer to Islam, but all these references are wrong. Islam is not involved in this violence, in this terrorism, in these activities. Islam is completely a peaceful religion. It's all the teachings of Islam are based on spirituality. The most important aspect of Islam is to develop a spiritual personality. About the creation plan of God. What is the creation plan of God? I said that God created man and he settled man on this planet Earth and he gave him freedom. Freedom. We enjoy freedom completely. So God wants to know who misuses his freedom and who who is the person who proper uses freedom. So this is the main purpose of our life. One who misuses freedom, he will go to hell. And one who lives with one who properly uses his freedom, he will go to paradise. This is the creation plan of God. So Quran was set for this purpose. Quran is not a book of war. Quran is not a book of violence. The main message of the Quran is to make people know why God created this world, what is the creation plan of God, and what is the way of intellect, what is the way to develop a, a positive personality that will find entry into paradise. So the wanted so the main the main the main target of the Quran is that you must develop a positive personality. You must develop a positive mind. You have to live with positive behavior in this world, with peace, with tolerance, with love. This is the main message of the Quran. Now, I would like to give a very important formula. This formula was given by a companion, Ali ibn Abi Talib, a formula of life. He says, Qimatul mare ma yusanu. Qimatul mare ma yusanu. It means the value of a person lies in excellence. The value of a person lies in excellence. It means that adopt excellence and you will be successful. Adopt excellence and you will be successful. So this is the formula given by a companion, Ali ibn Abi Talib. And in the end, I thank you and I pray for God. May God bless you forever.
People are misusing it as in misusing the name of Islam. So, can you tell us more on terrorism?
If Islam and Muslims,
Fine. I will give
if Islam
one of my experience. Once I happened to meet an Arab scholar in violence. Islam is a peaceful religion. He said, yes, we want peace, but we want peace with justice. As-salam wal-adl. So he said that we want peace, but we want peace with justice. I said that it is wrong because peace, because justice and peace are two different aspects. No peace can give you justice. Justice is you can achieve justice only by your own effort, by your own struggle. So first of all, you have to establish peace, and peace will open the door of opportunities. And by availing all these opportunities, you can find justice. So I think that these people are misguided people. They don't know what is the formula of life. They they want justice, but they don't know but how to attain justice. The formula of life is that you have to establish peace, and peace will open the door of opportunities, and then you have to avail all those opportunities. By availing these opportunities, you can achieve justice. This is the formula of life. So these people are misguided people. They don't know. I am trying to 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 train their mind. And I can say that I have changed the mind of thousands and thousands of people everywhere in the world. So this is my mission. And I am hopeful that the future will come when we will be will we will success. Will achieve success to change their mind. Inshallah, peace will prevail.
thank you very much for your very knowledgeable talk on Islam and terrorism. I have a small query. If Islam and Muslims, they are two different things, then why can't Islam disown those Muslims who believe in terrorism? Why do they get sheltered in madrasas which are supported by Islamic religion and Maulvis?
I think that um, Islam disowns all these people who are engaged in, in violence. It's, and you can see myself, I, I condemn these people and I say that it is not Islam. And so this movement is you could find everywhere in the world. There are so many. Uh, I have so many colleagues who are working in every part of the world, in India, in Kashmir, in Palestine, in America, everywhere. So they are preaching this concept. And I can say that so many people have changed their mind. Even today, I received an email from America. You can please tell that about that mail.
Okay. Uh, I think I'm loud enough. We received, in fact, today a letter from a United States jail, and it was sent by one Mr. Joshua, and he had read Maulana's leaflets and books, and he was very moved, and he requested him if he could send more books, more leaflets, so that he can share it with the other jail inmates. So, just to throw a little bit of light, Maulana's mission is very well spread in all continents of the world. And there is a significant reduction in terrorism which has happened in India and Kashmir. And many governments have acknowledged that. So there is a huge network that is taking place, and his ideology is being taken to those people, to address their mind, because violence as an ideology needs to be addressed, and that is what he is doing globally. So if that would answer your question in any way.
But in Pakistan, there are so many madrasas in which the training camps have been opened for training these terrorists. So terrorist activities are going like anything in Islamic country, which is Islam, which is recognized by the state itself, officially recognized. And in that particular country, it's a great shame to have those terrorist acts.
Yes, you are right. There are such kind of camp, and I condemn all these camps. So this world and is not ideal world. Ideal means paradise. In this world, everyone is free. Every man and woman are free. So it is, it is. If you want to see world as an ideal world, it is impossible. No one has so powerful to establish an ideal world. So every time there are some bad things in the society. So the farmers try to 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 change the mind of people, and I'm trying. I'm that kind of farmer, and there are other people who are trying to change the mind of people. And in Pakistan, I am I mean, I'm on their hit list because I always say that this is not Islam. So world is a world of struggle every time. You cannot establish ideal world. Ideal world, we can achieve ideal world in the paradise, not in this world. This world of struggle, world of challenge.
I would like to add something. In fact, in Pakistan itself, Maulana's magazine, which is called Al Risala, it is getting published from there, and it is very well spread out in Pakistan, and it has addressed many people out there. In fact, about 3-4 days back, we received an email from Pakistan, and we've been getting regular responses from there. They've been saying that their understanding about Islam was different before they read Maulana's magazine, and his books are printed and spread out in Pakistan as well. So it's a mission which is slowly and gradually reaching out to the right targeted segment. But it takes some time to change the minds of people. Their minds have got conditioned over the last so many decades. You can't change it overnight. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of time. So that's what he's been doing, and his centers all over the world are doing, reaching out to those people and telling them to understand Islam in the right perspective, take the guidance for which it is meant for. So I think it'll be sometime soon that we will start hearing good news coming from all corners of the world.
I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
I would also like to say something that people are away from the Quran actually. They recite the Arabic words of the Quran, but they don't understand. That is why we have, my father, my Maulana has translated the Quran we have translated in Urdu, Hindi, English, three languages, very simple language, so that anyone and everyone can understand it. There were so many leaders who misinterpreted Islam in the last decades. They have misinterpreted it. They have given a political interpretation of Islam that they have to rule the whole world. So that has to be countered, and we are working our best to counter that political ideology because that breeds violence. So in Pakistan and everywhere, in Pakistan and everywhere, they think that it is their right to rule, and this is not the Islamic concept. So we have to live together in this world, and we have to live together and share in the system. Not that we should have the power, like because Muslims have ruled for 1,000 years, so they are conditioned. They think that it is our right to rule. This is no right. Right? So the Quran says that it is God's gift. God can give this gift to anyone. It is not that Muslims have some special right or some chosen people. So all these concepts are being countered. My Maulana has formed an ideology of peace, and that is why in Kashmir there are so many people who have read and studied our literature, and peace prevails there, except only some scattered, some violence happens, but otherwise all the people are reading the literature and coming under its influence. So we hope to bring all these people under this peaceful ideology of Islam.
You said that so long as, I mean, we have to agree with it, so long as there is injustice in this world, things like this will keep on happening. So your answer was that we have to have a peaceful world. Only then justice will come. But then, to answer to these people who are talking of to live with dignity, to live with justice, they have to fight. I mean, don't you agree that only in a just world we can have peace? You are saying it's first peace, then justice. But only in a just world we can have peace.
I would like to add one point. People are confused in the concept of justice and in terms of peace. The most important aspect is that we are living in a world that was not created by us, but it was created by God. God is the creator of this world. So, first of all, we have to know what is the creation plan of God. What is the divine law? We cannot go beyond the divine law. It is not. It is beyond our capacity. So, according to the creation plan of God, man is free. You cannot abolish freedom. Cannot abolish freedom. You have to adjust with this situation. So what I am saying is according to law of nature. So we must know what is the law of nature. Law of nature is that everything we can achieve by our own effort. So justice is the result of our own effort. Justice is not outcome of peace. Peace gives you only opportunity. This is the law of nature. The best example of in the life of Prophet of Islam that is called Hudaybiyah agreement. At that time, when Prophet was in Medina, there so many people became hostile. They waged a war and so many violence. So Prophet entered into negotiation and he finalized an agreement of peace. This is called Hudaybiyah. Hudaybiyah agreement was finalized on unilateral conditions. Why? Because when there is peace, there are opportunities. Those people who want peace and justice both at a time, they cannot achieve anything. There is an example of Japan. After the Second World War, Japan was victim of atom bomb, but Japan avoided all those things, and Japan unilaterally adjusted with USA. The Hirohito, who was king of Japan at the time, he said in one of his speech that we have to suffer the unsufferable. It means that we have to adjust with American hegemony, so that we may find time to build our nation. So Japan avoided confrontation with America, and they diverted their efforts to education. And after
Maulana, I would like to add one thing. Maulana often gives one more example on the same lines of peace and justice. Look at India as an example. The freedom struggle was going, it was going on for many hundreds of years, but it didn't actually materialize freedom. But it was only Gandhiji's slogan of peace which brought India the freedom. In fact, there's this famous quote where a British senior officer wired telegraph message to the British Secretariat, and he wrote that kindly wire instructions how to kill a tiger non-violently. So it was only after this long, sustained, struggle for peace that India got freedom. And today we all know that India not only channels the fastest growing economy. So what Maulana Sahib has always advocated for is that just look at peace as an opportunity. Don't ask for justice. You should do your duties and ask your rights from God. Today the problem in the whole world is that the whole society is becoming right conscious. I want this, I want that, we want our rights. But nobody talks about duties. So, as a duty, it is very important that, one should look at those aspects. And then, justice follows. So, that is, one of, his example that he always quotes. I thought it would be, fit to, put in here. Thank you.